Hi, babies. We're gonna do a reading. I'm gonna do a reading. You do what you do. I'm not your mom. I'm looking at my cards, thinking about which deck I'm gonna use. I really would like to get more tarot, like different types of tarot, to fit into different collectives. I feel like maybe I've been stuck on the same collective for a while. I feel like, especially when I do collective readings, the cards kind of associate with those collectives. And we should fit in with more people. Anyhow, do one more shuffle. And then we'll see what you got today. There's a hesitant energy here. Tell me what this hesitation's about. Okay. There's a hesitation with something you've been working with. You got the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Something you've been putting your time into. It's also followed by the World Reverse, which is giving me like you're questioning if you're really meant to be where you're at. These are just really beautiful. Sorry. I am indeed a flowers girl. Yeah, it's like your questioning is like, I don't think it's something where you're questioning where you're at because you want to stay stagnant. You're either questioning where you're at because you want to leave, or you're questioning where you're at because you want to start something new. Like, you're either questioning if you want to stay or if you want to leave this space, or you're not in a space and you're questioning if you want to be in a space. Does that make sense? The Six of Pentacles in this card signifies, there's symbolism in every tarot deck, unless they use like the typical Rider-Waite kind of, you know, like the typical imagery. They have, you know, like different depictions. And this one shows like an infinity sign. So this shows like cyclical, you know, like this idea of like cycles. Maybe you're considering cycles by which you're giving too much or not enough, or you feel like you're not giving enough, or you're like, maybe I haven't been giving enough, or maybe I've been giving too much to something. That also seems significant to put into, is like, why is it that I'm giving into this? Like, why is it that I'm, or like, do I want to start giving into this? Or however, again, take that as it might or might not, right? Like, I'm not your mom. You got the Empress reversed, so I do think that it's something that you're offering. I feel like you're giving too much to too many places. You're putting your eggs in too many baskets. This card here talks about like you're over here, you know, wondering about these when there's something that is fulfilling. And you know, with all the colors there, those are like, I always see it as like chakras. So this is something that's like aligned with your purpose, with your kundalini, you know. So it's like yeah, but you know, because it's like, just because it's aligned doesn't mean it's comfortable, you know. Like to get to that alignment might be something that, like, if you're avoiding growth or, you know, something like that, where it's like, yeah, but like, what else is there? You know, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's very much like I'm seeing like standardized testing, and you're very much like the type of person that's like, I know the answer is B, but like, what are the other answers? You know, like, could it be C? You know, but the way that it's showing up is really funny. Like, it's one of those, sorry, my hair is wet and it's, anyhow. one of those, like, it's very specific, the imagery that I'm getting. Like, sorry, I have a bouncy ball. Truth. Awesome. Blue. And I like to put my foot on it. Ugh, hold on. There you go. All right. Nope. It's gotta be centered. Look, I'm autistic as shit. It's gotta be centered, okay? It's getting like a really like stupid question. Like, if Amy has 2 apples and her teacher has 3, how many do they have together? And it's like 14, 5. Amy isn't hungry. Her teacher eats them all. You know, like those are the 4 answers. And you're like, I know the answer is 5. But what if the teacher did eat all the apples? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, but that doesn't even, it could be the answer, but that wasn't the question. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those stupid things of like, I don't know, like if it's like a driver's test, like I'm very much getting like one of the answers is like, so what the fuck? Like that, I know you're just putting that like, you know, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's like, it's very clearly what I'm getting. So it's something that's like, it's almost humorous how you're wasting your, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say it like that, but like, yeah, because like the other answers aren't even, like, yeah, there are other answers, but like, are they the answers to your problem or like to your question? Yeah. So the 2 of Pentacles is like choice, but like one is like a real answer and one is like theory. It's like in theory, but we're not theoretical beings. We're literal, tangible human beings, you know? So you're like, in theory, like, I'm getting something as like, if I wasn't mentally ill, and I was like, but you are. You know, like, but if I didn't have, you know, children, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, but you do, you know, like, it's something, but if I knew how to drive, but you don't, like, you could, it's just something that's like, is this really, I feel like there's a reason why you're considering this, but the reason why you're considering it is not to consider it, it's to realize how stupid that is. You know, like maybe it's something that you've been considering for a while where you're like, well, why don't I do this? And you're like finally coming to the conclusion that it's like, well, the question was about how many apples do I have, not whether or not, you know, teacher was hungry, you know? So it's like, that could be the answer, but that's not the question at hand. Like it's a hypothetical, you know, and I'm not working with hypotheticals. Yeah, it's like there's like a grieving energy of like, okay, well, you know, if it is like people or opportunities or, you know, like places, if you're considering living somewhere or working with someone, you're like, yeah, but you know, it could have been nice. It's just not realistic. Like I'm not yeah, again, like I'm not an in theory type of person. I need to be able to live with this. You got a lot of reversed wands energy, so it's like, okay, deliverance comes as alignment and not escape. And I feel like you're looking at escapism, where it's like, you know, when in doubt, the answer is C. When you know it's B, but you're like, fuck it, I don't even want to go through this test. So I'll just circle whatever the fuck, you know. It's like, no, like you know the answer if you just look at the problem, you know, like if you're not You've got the King of Pentacles followed by the Eight of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords reversed at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you're too focused on where you want to be. Like you're too focused on the vision of where, like, this is where I need to be, instead of what you're working with. The King of Pentacles talks about, obviously, is like this masculine energy that is stable, that has foundation, that has abundance. And masculine energy isn't gender specific, but it's somebody that, you know, is calm. He's, you know, again, the energy within yourself. So take it as it resonates, not gender specific. He's a leader. He's, you know, like calm. He's like, okay, he's, I don't want to say meticulous, but he's like the quiet observer. He's like, okay, so this is what you're doing, or this is what the problem is. You know, it's like somebody, think of like somebody that's like a millionaire, right? Like they're not going to be like, oh my God, I have a flat tire, pew, you know, like, and just throwing, like they're very strategic. That's the word I was looking for. Not meticulous, strategic. Like it's very like, okay, so, you know what I'm saying? But you're too focused on that. And with the Eight of Pentacles here, like that's, you're not aware of all the things around you. You're not aware, again, you lack clarity right now. You're not aware of all the missing pieces. So either you're making a decision without having all the information, or you're trying to force something or make a decision on hypotheticals. So you're like, well, why isn't it working out for me? Because you're not allowing yourself to be grounded in what it is that you're actually experiencing. Does that make sense? So it's like, yeah, like I'm so great, but it's like, are you? Like, excuse me. It's like you have the potential to be, if you would just stop ignoring the reality of what it is that you're doing. I feel like this is one of the hardest messages that I've had to give. Not like the hardest, but one of the harder messages that I've had to give. You might feel like looking at everything and like really accepting your situation will put you in a position that you don't want to be in. Like denial, like you're in denial. Like, this isn't my life. But it is. You got the King and Queen of Pentacles, so that is a divine union working within you. You have to nurture what feels good to you, because looking at it matters how you feel. Like, it matters that you feel confident in your answer. If you're just like, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, like, when in doubt, go with C, and you're not confident with your answer, I want you to think about, like, that little, even if it's like a minuscule, like, when you know that 2 + 3 is 5, you're like, yeah, I know that. You know, like, even if it's not like, you know, it's like, hold on to the little things that make sense to you, because one, it's your life, you know, like it's your test, or however you see it. I keep seeing this imagery of like schoolwork or testing. So maybe you see your life as a big test, or the situation that you're in as a big test. But I want you to focus on how it is that it feels, because I feel like you're making a sandwich and you've got the bread and you've got the bread, but you're trying to bypass everything in between, which is like the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Sorry, my chair turns. You know what feels good to you, and you know where you want to be, but you're unwilling to go through and like take out all the ingredients and see like, okay, well, how much? Like, yes, lettuce, but how much lettuce do I want to put on my sandwich? You know, if it's like joy. You know, I'm thinking about, I have like this little jar for, I want to use it for herbs. And, because I do, like, I keep switching around different bags and such, and I just really would like a set space for it. Hi, baby. And it feels like you have to organize, like, where is it that I want to put my time? Because if it is, I don't know why lettuce is specific. I don't know if you do partake. I don't know if that's significant, to like mention that, but it's like recognizing like how much of da 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 is too much. Are you going through the whole test, just marking, you know, whatever you see? Are you looking at, you know, are you looking at your career but not looking at your family life? You know, like you're measuring out the lettuce, but you just throw, you know, like a giant chunk of onion on there. Like, do you want a giant chunk, or did you want smaller slices? Or, you know, I don't know if this makes sense. There's a lot of analogies here. I don't know if you're like a visual person, but this is like, I'm being bombarded with imagery here. Anyhow. Yeah, there's a fear that like once you start recognizing things, you'll have to, if this feels very avoidant. Like once you start recognizing it, like you won't be able to avoid it anymore, is like what I wanted to say. And this energy is what it feels like. It feels like, you know, because you got the moon and then the Four of Swords, which the Four of Swords shows up as this energy, which is like healing. But I feel like she put herself there. You're not isolating to heal. You're isolating to avoid, you know? I'm also thinking that you think not experiencing anything will allow you to, like when I said avoid, I emphasized, like in my brain, it emphasized on a void. Like, like a void. This is the death and rebirth card, this is the only tarot deck I have which emphasizes that it's death and rebirth. It's not just death. But it feels like you're like, well, if no one can intrude on what I'm building, then nobody can poison my garden. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can destroy my foundation. But you're not protecting yourself. It's like you're lying to yourself. I don't know, man. I'm gonna do like 2 more cards. What advice do you need to take away from this? Cool. So you got the Hermit reversed and then the Two of Swords with Judgment at the bottom of the deck, also reversed. I feel like if it is like starting something or choosing to end something, there is like an energy of somebody else or something else influencing you. And there's either a denial of that, like I don't want people to influence me, or I don't know if people's influence will benefit me. Like you doubting that people's influence is good. There's a lot of heart chakra here, like a lot. Even when it's like sacral root, it's all heart chakra. You know, like you're scared that someone won't see you the right way and give you advice that like, maybe that advice might work for someone else, you know, or somebody else has been, you know, building with you, and you're like, maybe this isn't, maybe you don't quite see me, you know, it's like something along these lines, but it's like you're protecting yourself from the wrong things, where it's like the people that you are letting in, that's who you get this feeling from. And the people, places, environments, experiences that you're denying are the things that might, again, you don't know until you try, and I'm not your mom, so like, but those are the things that like might offer you the advice that you're looking for. You're just so scared to like let it go or let it in, whatever it is, but it's very much heart chakra based. Anywho, be safe.